Orzag. I have to say that I applaud our new president for presenting us with a budget that does focus on the challenges of healthcare, education, and energy independence and global warming. As I go about my district, there's a common sense understanding that these are the great failures of the past decade in not looking at these and beginning to put in place forward-looking approaches to it. But I'd like to ask you a question on something slightly different, and that is individual savings. I think it's great what you've included in the budget, really beginning to look at ways to encourage people to save in retirement. But as we know, retirement savings really are only one piece of the pie, and especially for those who have been dependent upon home equity to borrow against the value of their homes in the case of a personal emergency, that no longer is a resource. So I'm wondering if the administration is looking ahead at all at ways to encourage individual savings aside from retirement.
Well, I think there are a variety of discussions going on. Some focused on financial education, which is one mechanism that people have put forward to encourage saving. We've already discussed retirement saving. So the short answer is yes. I think a lot of that activity is focused in the Treasury Department because at least part of the answer involves the tax code. Part of the effort is surrounding the Department of Education and financial education efforts. And I know this is something that the Vice President feels strongly about and has already come up, frankly, in our first task force meeting of the Middle Class Task Force. It was one of the topics that was discussed.
Well, it's really an issue of low to middle income families. I represent 3 cities in which the average income is well below the norm, and where much of the subprime lending crisis originated. And we see what happens when we don't put in place incentives to encourage savings so that people can begin to get a head start.
Well, and let me actually raise one other topic that is included in the budget, which is one of the things that doesn't make a lot of sense to my mind is we encourage saving on the one hand, and then for people who do save, if a recession comes, if a crisis like we are currently facing comes along and they need assistance under food stamps or other means-tested benefit programs, we have very outdated asset tests that apply. So we basically are saying, please go save, and then we hit you over the head if you do, should you ever need assistance in the future, in ways that even conservative economists have identified as being a very high implicit tax on saving. The budget includes a set of proposals to start modernizing those asset tests so that we're achieving a better balance between targeting the benefits on those who most need them, but not discouraging people so much from saving in the first place.
Well, I welcome hearing that, and I look forward to reading the particulars. Thank you very much.